Hey there, everybody. My name is Marty Kassalen. I'm a senior account executive here at Qualified. Happy to have you in on a session today to learn about how we're going to start using AI as part of our sales processes in day to day to remove some mundane tasks and improve efficiencies. So let's dig in. So I get really excited about this stuff for a few reasons, mainly because I've seen some real productivity gains myself, and I want others to experience the same. And the more productive we are, the more time we get to focus on other things, and hopefully it leads to more developed deals, more pipeline for us as salespeople. Now, there could be like 10 sessions on the topic of using AI in sales, but to make effective use of time here today, I'm going to quickly overview 5 easy ways to get started with some examples. And some of you might take this and really lean into it, which is exciting. Some of you might think this is all kind of crap, and that's okay. But I think I can speak for a lot of salespeople today that we need every angle to find and develop pipeline right now. And I'm hopeful that there are some takeaways that teams can start using right away, just like we are here at Qualified. So some people might feel overwhelmed by what's possible with AI, but we're going to simplify it today in 5 easy use cases to get yourself introduced to this wave of technology that's now available to us. So these ideas are account research, shaping better messaging, finding above the line priorities, critical thinking, and then self-organization and improvement. So starting with account research, being relevant is the key to any effective outbound approach. And what used to take several manual hours or sometimes even days to research accounts to find relevant insights and nuggets that can really help us find ways to crack into accounts really now takes seconds. So there's a number of free AI tools that you can use to find any info that will help you better understand the account and build relevancy. And my favorites are all free: Perplexity.ai, ChatGPT-4, Google Bard, things like that. And examples can be broken down into 3 categories. In recency, you can find relevant account news in seconds. So something like find me recent news about company X and their recent product launches and their latest earnings report. That's a prompt that I use pretty frequently. It's important to understand growth trends when you associate your value prop to your prospects. So an example growth prompt can be, hey, what factors have contributed to company X's growth the last year? Or what is company X's plan for sustaining this growth? And then lastly, another effective way to use prompts in these tools is to cobble together media assets and have them be analyzed. So I've asked something like Perplexity.ai to source me if any executives at some of my target accounts have been featured in recent podcasts or articles or interviews. So again, what used to take long periods of time to scan articles and read through earnings reports, listen to all these podcasts, now takes seconds. And there's obviously a few ways to use this information to begin or develop a deal. And that leads me to the second idea here, which is shaping better messaging. Once we have some relevance in our outreach, we can then build up a personalized message that wins and at least gets that open rate up. So I use the word shape because, in my personal opinion, it's not fully responsible to rely heavily on AI to fully write your emails. Do not copy and paste GPT emails into Outreach or SalesLoft or any other tool. Not only is it obvious, but it doesn't have the same human judgment that we do. So there are a few ways we can prompt GPT or other tools to use certain inputs and then guide it with a few rules. In this example here, this is a real email that our team has used from a set of rules and guidelines that I had built to engineer a good cold outbound email. So you can read the text here for yourself, but I asked AI to weave together my prospect's affection for baking cupcakes with our value prop. And if you instruct the AI to mesh together the two of those things creatively, the outputs are pretty amazing and take seconds to write. The next idea here is finding above the line priorities. This is a use case that's probably my favorite. We all know that money follows pain, and pains are meant to be healed. And the medicine that heals these pains will receive funding from economic buyers. And as software salespeople, we always look to anchor on initiatives from the C-suite that they care about. And without hearing directly from our champions and buyers what those initiatives might be or what they are, what's top of mind, your chances of developing a real deal are very slim. And there's 4 major areas why software is purchased, in my opinion. It's either increasing revenue, decreasing costs, mitigating risks, and improving productivity. And usually at the C-level, projects are set in place to achieve these 4 areas. And we know we can use AI to help identify C-level initiatives. Maybe they come from remarks from executives publicly or from interviews or from earnings reports or 10Ks. And when we can then consolidate this information to find new opportunities, but also develop and accelerate existing big deals in our pipeline by multi-threading, by looping in additional stakeholders that you think your solution can impact based on what you find. Another one of my favorite use cases here for AI is using it for critical thinking. I use GPT as somewhat of a second brain for lots of my behind-the-scenes work. Two brains are better than one, and the speed and intuition of AI is a little bit too valuable to ignore to help and find, develop these deals. So critical thinking examples that I have personally used include instructing AI to act as a specific persona. So let's say you go out and you're selling to and you target B2B sales leaders. You can prompt it, hey, act as a B2B sales leader. You can also prompt it to say, hey, act as a RevOps leader or a COO or a corporate lawyer if you're trying to come through some red lines and provide some summaries to your legal team on some feedback that you've already gotten. So you can also share some of the challenges that are threatening your team's success. One of the great use cases here is, if I was a sales leader and I'm managing a team, is I can say, hey, I manage a number of reps. I'm noticing this constant trend that's kind of holding our team back, such as deal stalling at a particular stage or losing deals to a certain competitor. And then you can prompt AI to see how they would address that challenge if you say, hey, act as a B2B sales leader. And then you can also use AI to inspect your own sales hygiene and suggest where you might be missing some key areas to accelerate and win your deals by asking AI where tendencies might be from your buyer. So these are some examples of critical thinking. And then the last use case that, again, I use pretty commonly in my day-to-day is how I think about, progressing my career and improving my own skills. So think about AI as serving as your secondary career coach. How do you track towards that promotion that you covet? What sets of traits should you look for in a mentor? What roadblocks inhibit you from achieving your goals? You can also use it for simple task management, skill improvement, and plan building. For instance, I use it to hone my negotiation skills by instructing AI to act as a CFO sometimes and play devil's advocate on my value proposition or my business pitch. Or I ask AI what a typical leader in demand gen struggles with so I can approach that conversation ahead of time with that meeting with the VP of demand gen, potentially with more comprehension. So the use cases here are endless, but this has definitely become part of my daily routine where I'm using this stuff to upskill myself and learn a little bit new things every day. So like I said, some of this stuff can be overwhelming, but what is absolutely guaranteed is that this wave of AI is crashing onto us fast. And soon we're all going to be expected to do these things as salespeople. So it's really best to familiarize yourself with these new tools, find actual valuable use cases and start implementing them. My goal is to help other sellers make sense of all of this and hope this has been helpful here today.